Yo, welcome to the episode 2 of the Bear Market Builders. I about said the real ones. That was my old podcast, but welcome to episode 2. Today we're with the Fox Club. I just got my first two Fox Club about a week or two ago. Thanks to Casper, and I'll let them explain a little bit about what they do and who they are. So take it away.
Oh yeah, hi. You're gonna hear this scuffed ass Yorkshire accent for the next 15 minutes, man, because there's a few things that the Fox Club provide, man. And whenever I talk about the Fox Club, the first thing I have to talk about is the art, right? Because the art is top quality. We spent months analyzing projects all throughout different ecosystems to ultimately find the best possible combination of traits, color palettes, everything to appease Twitter specifically. Because you see that little circle right now, each individual person inside the space. Well, that's your brand identity all the way throughout social media. This circle right here is the core fundamental base. And you have to get a level of that market. So we put so much time, effort into ensuring that what we had was available and also PG, brandable, collectible, and fits the specific Twitter colors as well. So you'll see throughout our entire collection, there's an array of colors that work specifically with the Twitter color palette. So if you go into your settings on Twitter, you can see and change your color settings to a specific set of colors. Well, that resonates throughout our entire collection. No one else has done this to the level that we have yet. We'll probably obviously see other people do this year, but you can see that throughout our entire collection. You know, the colors that we've chosen are specifically that pop style that goes throughout the entire collection. Everything's brandable. Everything has a specific purpose. It's like we have RuneScape party hats, World of Warcraft traits. We have soccer shirts, football shirts, that kind of style. Everything for a specific person, everything for a specific style, ultimately to build a brand. And this is the thing that's super important because there's people in this space that are obviously building their entire profile network, everything around the PFP. So it has to be something that people want to use. And we have hit that. I am very confident in that regard that we are one of the most brandable PFPs inside the entire ecosystem, not just Solana, but any blockchain. And I'm very confident in that regard. But then also, this is the thing with Solana specifically, you cannot just provide good art on the blockchain. You have to provide more. These NFTs have to do backflips. They have to do dances. They have to do all these kind of things, right? You know what I mean? They can't just do the base standard thing of just being art on the blockchain. Because if they are, they falter. They do. It's just what it is. You have to have something more, right? And we have an absolute conglomerate of things that we are building here at the Fox Club. First things first, I always love to talk about my development team. My development team is the most reputable development team in this ecosystem, full stop. Like, this is just facts. Like, the projects that my team have worked on so far are absolutely mind-blowing. So we have our in-house development team is Bamboo. They have done work for Soul City Poker Club. They've done work for Soul Bookies NFT. They've done back-end systems for Age of Sam. They're working on Pop Royale right now. And they're also doing a multitude of systems for us as well in perpetuity. What does this mean? Well, we are building an array of systems. First things first, we are building our pick and win machine. Our pick and win machine will be quite similar to the Degen toy machine from Hydra, which I will get to in a few minutes. But essentially, we are building a much smoother, a much cleaner system that also has unique differences and also has way more functionality for multiple projects all working together in cohesion, which is absolutely amazing. The price point on our machine is a lot cheaper. The transaction fees are a lot more accessible. And ultimately, projects that use this machine that we are building will be able to consistently generate revenue on a consistent basis, depending on how well they market, etc., and how good their communities are. So these machines specifically that we're providing, every single time a machine's spun, there will be a transaction fee. That transaction fee goes straight to us. How those transaction fees are split is 33% goes to us as the business, 33% goes to our developers in perpetuity to ensure that they can run the validators and everything else. And then 33% specifically goes to our revenue share. So we have a full revenue share platform as well, where 50% of everything that we generate in Web3 systems, etc., and 50% of all the royalties that we generate as well go directly into royalty share. If every two foxes that you own, which are staked and paid with royalties, get you a portion of the share. There's just 1,497 shares possible inside the entire collection. As we build more systems and build our game out, etc., we are going to be able to generate a consistent level of profits, ultimately allowing people to be safe, comfortable, and happy with their investment on an extra level just because of the revenue that they're providing, without everything else that's coming on top of this as well. So with the systems that we're providing, we can also go out and sell our machine, the pick and win machine specifically, to as many projects as we want to, ultimately allowing us to generate as much transaction fees as possible. And also we can do this all throughout the next few years, etc. As the next bull market comes, multiple projects start minting out, all this kind of stuff, ensure that our salespeople are in the right position to ultimately get them to buy this machine as soon as they mint out and use these machines on a regular basis, making sure that we're constantly being in that market and generating a level of consistent revenue from the transaction fee specifically. So we don't even have to worry about filling machines ourselves. But we do have the Degen toy machine from Hydra that's currently available right now. And this machine specifically is allowing us to generate revenue as it stands at the moment. That is the only way we're currently, well, we have two ways of generating revenue, but we haven't actually started fully generating a profit yet, but I'll get to that in a second. First things first with the DTM though, we are generating machines around once a week that are Solana-based machines. And these aren't just your average type machines as well. These are very lucrative machines that have very good jackpots inside. We provide 250x to the initial stake bet on jackpots inside the machine. We also provide multiple 100x jackpots, etc. And this is essentially a glorified gacha machine or a gumball machine. Every time you put in an SPL token or some Solana, you will always get a prize. So with this specifically, it's just very, very nice to use. Like, it's so much better than a raffle because you're always getting something back. And then also you have the chance to win any of the multiple NFTs that are inside the machine versus maybe you play a couple of tickets and then, you win nothing. You're always going to get something of a base. And when we're providing these machines, we provide tokens like Jelly and Forge. So you're getting very good stable tokens that even if they just sit in your wallet for a few months, they're probably going to go up in value as well. So it's a very good extra little value that you get every single time that you hit one of these machines. But once the fill parameters of the machine are ticked off in regards to the amount of money generated from the machine, all 50% of the profits generated go straight into that royalty share as well. And we've already paid around 0.6 Solana per pair of foxes since mint. So we've paid a decent amount to say that we don't even have our own systems live yet. But once we have our own systems live, we know we're going to be generating a consistent level of revenue on a generalized basis. But then also as well, we're building more too. Like, we're not just stopping with the pick and win machine. The pick and win machine will obviously generate a level of revenue for us, allow us to do specific things, gamify some mints, all that kind of stuff as well, provide unique levels of value, utility, etc. that people won't have seen before. And we're very happy and confident in that regard. But we're also building a skill-based wager game, which is something that no one has done to the level that we're going to be providing. This skill-based wager game that we are building, we haven't released the genre of it yet, but we will be releasing the genre in the next couple of weeks. We are very close in regards to having this actually available as well. We're putting a lot of things in place in regards to getting sponsorships, advertising, all this kind of stuff to ensure that, the right types of projects are completely inundated with what we're doing when it actually is there and available. And yeah, we look very strong in this regard. We have one of the best games developers working on this. He's a little indie developer, and the type of style that he works on is perfect for what we're building, and no one has done this before in this ecosystem. But we'll be providing a full skill-based wager game where you can play with Chits, which is our decentralized token, or Solana. And with the Solana version, you'll be playing, every single time you play, you'll play with 0.1 or 0.25 Solana. And if you do well consistently, you'll be making money every single day. Providing you are consistently good, then you will always be making money. And this will be a brand new way for people that have actual skill to be able to come inside this ecosystem and make a lot of money. Because not only will we be providing this gamified element as well, where if you are the best, you are going to constantly win money, but also there will be incentives for leaderboards as well. So if you are one of the top performing players on either the Chits or the Solana leaderboards, we'll be providing rewards, prizes, all this kind of stuff to people as well, giving them ultimate layers of value for actually consistently playing the game and doing well in the game as well. And we're very confident in regards to once people see what we're doing, we drop these teaser trailers, they see the absolute quality of what we are providing, they're not going to be able to avoid this. And this again, when we're doing these games specifically, we'll be generating a portion of the revenue that's generated from each individual person that buys in every single time, quite similar to how Solana Shuffle works with Immortals, and how Dual Casino works as well with the CSGO wheel. So it's quite similar in that regard, but a fully gamified element where players are going to be able to play for a certain amount of time, and it's still going to be worth and lucrative for the business. And again, a portion of what we generate from that, based off how we work out the profitability as we run the servers, etc., we'll also be providing that into the revenue share as well, providing even more value to the Fox Club holders. But we provide so much value even without the rev share specifically as well, because the decentralized token that we have in chits is an absolute mind blower. So it's very similar in regards to Dust tokenomics. We have a deflationary supply where everything started with zero. Myself, Casper, the team, no one got any of the token from the get-go. And everything that myself and Casper generate from our personal supplies of Foxes goes straight into the business account. So we are obviously doing everything in our regard to ensure that there's value for the chits token within the business specifically, because we generate a decent amount from our own purchases, from our own personal pocket of buying it around mint time, etc. So all those tokens that we generate, we put that as the essential business back versus all the stuff that we do. So as it stands right now, we have provided over 1,000 Solana in value to the chits token since mint in a 6 week period. Like, that is astronomical for a project that only minted out for 4,000 Solana. That is astronomical. And we're still in profit as a business as well, by the way, which is really, really good, whilst we're building the systems. But this token specifically has 2 halving periods. And we're not going to be ourselves ever providing a liquidity pool towards this token because it gets quite grey in that regard. But any whale can set up a liquidity pool on Raydium, and we're setting up the tools and we're setting up the systems and everything right now for that to be an inevitable point for somebody that is directly interested in backing that themselves, because we're going to provide intrinsic artificial levels of pump value towards that chits token. So we do not want to be looked like we're doing or providing any form of market manipulation, because this is the thing: if we do a 2,500 sol profit week after paying absolutely everything off, the next chits DTM that we do, or the next chits pick and win machine that we do, we're going to provide some very good value inside that machine. There's going to be opportunities for people to make a lot of money, etc., because we're going to do well as well. Ultimately, everything that we do for the business, we want to provide raw intrinsic value to our holders. And this is obviously what we're providing with the absolute conglomerate of systems that we're providing in Web3. But that's not all, man. We have so much more as well. And this part specifically is normally where my business partner would come in. I'm not sure if he's available to take over. I'm going to see if he is. Are you there to take over, or should I carry on, brother?
I'm good. So yeah, this part is it comes from my Web2 business company. It's been around. It's been around since about 1978. We provide and we do multiple different types of custom branding in-house, and we have multiple partners in the States and also international. We've built all these relationships to basically reduce lead times, increase any logistics that we have with any other project that we are working with, any other partner that we're working with. And also, we've worked with celebrities such as Machine Gun Kelly, Quavo Huncho, Justin Bieber, high-end companies, Fortune 500 companies. We work with HBO stars and all these other larger companies. It's been in my family, like I said, for pretty much my entire life. And I wanted to bring my Web2 business to Web3. And by doing that, I first started by providing the apparel for Degenerate Ape Academy 2 years ago. So this was during the Christmas time, during the holidays, and they wanted to fulfill 11,000 units, fully customized, woven labels, all custom branded boxes, etc. And we shipped it to about 890 different locations in a 3-week period. So by providing this time frame and this quality of branding, it really put us on the map, and we were able to start speaking with Solana Spaces, and we got their product actually in the Solana Spaces stores in New York City and also Miami. So I'm currently working on a partnership with them to provide any of the apparel that we do in the space to have it being sold IRL. Also, this depends on if the NFT project does want to do it retail or if they want to do it something more limited like we are doing at the Fox Club. And another couple projects that we are working with in the space, one of them being Ghost Kid now. We're getting a lot of different quotes, but we can't really say the exact projects that we're working with until we sign those contracts. But we're fortunate enough to have this opportunity because anyone that is in the space right now is providing this apparel at 300 to 400% markup, and it's a fraction of the quality that we're providing. And by doing this, we're creating a drive for any other projects to really go to us because they see the quality that we're providing, and it's only a 30 to 40% markup, which again, that's hard to do, but because of the partnerships that I have, we're able to source the products, we're able to source the materials, and pretty much source anything that you want to brand on. And not a lot of projects can do this because we're one-stop shop. You're just going straight to us, and you're getting the entire package. You're getting the entire experience. And if you see with the lot of reviews that we're getting on Twitter right now, is the quality that we're providing. No one's experienced this, and we are sourcing fabrics similar to Yeezy fabric, Givenchy fabrics, and more premium level, Supreme, etc. And this is what we want to provide because we know that if we can provide this to multiple different projects, a portion of this is going to go back to Fox Club as our rev share payments, and also to be able to provide different drops that we're going to have down the road. If you do refer a project to us, there is a commission rate. So you are getting 5% for any project that you do bring through the Fox Club. That's just a side thing that we have for our holders. And if anyone in the space does want to earn a little extra money in the space, this is not mandatory. This is by all means if you guys want to do this. But this is an option that we want to provide because the amount of products that we see that are literally selling hoodies for $86 to $90 and they're getting delivered within 6 to 7 weeks, and the quality that you're getting is almost paper thin. And this is what you're paying for something that really costs about $15 to $20 shipped. So you can see the markup that they're doing with a lot of these products, and it's kind of sad because they're already charging a significant amount for the NFT. You should be able to provide something to your holders, and that's what we're doing at the Fox Club, that every single drop that we have after this first one that we go through, we're going to be able to offer a discount through our Chits token, almost to the point that the apparel's at cost. We just want to provide a little bit of profits to be able to provide different types of drops down the road, etc. But we're here to provide something to our ecosystem and also to our holders, and for them to actually wear it every single day. We're trying to focus on more of a branded product and branded apparel, that it's subtle, that if you see it, it doesn't look like NFT apparel. And it's not merch because we kind of pushed away from that word because in space, everything that you see right now is merch, and it's crap. We're providing apparel because we want to change the game in this space. And I think a lot of people are already seeing that now because the amount of quotes that we've gotten over the last few weeks, it's a great direction that we've had over the last 5 weeks of just being minted out. And this is only the beginning.
Dang. You guys got me bullish. So, I like to start from the beginning. How did you guys find Web3?
God damn. Yo, we're dinosaurs a little bit, us, man, in regards to cryptocurrency and stuff. So myself specifically got myself involved in Ethereum mining a little bit after Casper, around 2018, 2019, messing around with computer rigs and stuff, spare parts and stuff, just started mining and set up a little bit. Then found HNT, hotspot mining from Red Panda Mining at the start of, what year was it now? I should know this, but yeah, no, like all a bit of a blur for me because within 6 months of obviously mining HNT, I was making a ridiculous amount of money. And it just changed pretty much everything for me. I've been working sales, marketing pretty much my entire life from finishing school and getting my finishing college. And I just went into sales and obviously was just working sales and getting life experience, etc. But with HNT hotspot mining, finding that from I'll never unsub from that guy, man, no matter what. Because I mean, it changed my life, man. And then from there, obviously, it gave me the freedom to essentially just go out there and try and find out what I wanted to do, etc. In regards to, you know, how could I add to the Web3 space. So then I found Sandbox very early. I found Sandbox when they literally just migrated over to Polygon. And I started working on Sandbox and doing a lot of stuff in regards to Vox edit, character design, animation, and stuff like that. Got very good, to be honest, in regards to doing those things, in regards to what the limits you could break. But, you know, it was a lot of work for essentially not really any real recognition. Got very far in regards to like setting up a load of like characters and stuff. Got myself into a full meeting with Sebastian, who is the owner of Sandbox Game. Had a very long conversation with him. And obviously ultimately went my own different way with what I was going to do, because all the way back then I was planning on setting something up on Polygon through Sandbox, but I never actually fully pulled the trigger. Instead, what I did is I started looking around at different ecosystems for NFTs and stuff like that, and I found Solana, and I was like, okay, tech looks pretty good. Rust is a really good programming language. You know, there's certain elements of gamified systems that could work here, but there's obviously still a lot of stuff that can actually be done, right? So what can I add to this ecosystem, etc. So I started obviously buying some Solana NFTs, you know, invested like 10, 15 grand or something like that, you know, bought a few different things, you know, lost all that money pretty much, you know, invested more money, started buying a little bit better, you know, started trading as if I was trading, obviously, you know, stocks, crypto, you know, like I used to, instead of obviously just doing the, you know, wag me, all these pictures are cool kind of thing. Started making some good money trading, got myself into a position of community managing for Orcs. In regards to like, that was a very good spot for me. And from there, like learned all about, you know, the back end systems of running an NFT project, right? You know, how does things actually work, etc. And what I saw was project founders are fucking lazy. I saw these people making $500,000 and doing nothing for it. So worked my ass off for Orcs for a period of time, understanding, building relationships, getting the developers, you know, building the right type of connections, etc. Got myself into a fundamental point where I was feeling quite confident, etc. But at this point, Orcs weren't still doing anything. They probably still haven't done anything to this date, right? And I'm pretty sure I'm confident on that. I got myself into Bunnies and Homies after that. The opportunity came up because someone said to me that obviously they were looking for people. So I went over, I applied, and I got the job, right? Community managed there for a little bit, moved, got promoted to director there because the founder was doing the same fucking shit, not working, etc. I put on the pressure on this guy who generated $750,000, obviously every single day, wasn't doing anything for his money. Same thing again, you know, I just wasn't getting the return in regards to these people doing what they were doing, all this kind of stuff. Next thing, obviously, got Snuggle Squad. This is where I meet Casper. I meet Casper at Snuggle Squad. And I go and help him out in regards to, at this point, he was one of the biggest holders. And the founders were just not being active. So a lot of the stuff was just pretty much left on him as one of the biggest holders. And then they slapped the team role on him because they just literally didn't want to turn up, etc. He obviously brought me on to try and help him out, etc. But I was just like, at this point, I was like, bro, what are you doing? These guys aren't even working, man. They haven't even done no testing, no checking or anything like that. I'm like, bro, you've got a full business. You know exactly what you're doing. I've got developers, artists, and a really good idea. Why don't we combine everything together and obviously do something? Because we clearly both fucking want it. And from there, obviously, we started working together. We put stuff together. And ultimately, where we're at right now with the Fox Club is a combination of a lot of time and effort that's come from myself and Casper in regards to a multitude of different experiences that we've both come through. But for myself specifically, a lot of community management work, a lot of, you know, customer support, sales, marketing, that kind of stuff. And obviously ensured before we obviously did what we did, that I had a level of experience to actually back that up as well.
Casper, you want to take that question as well?
Yeah, so I jumped down the rabbit hole in 2017 and never came back. I started trading Bitcoin from a tip from my brother-in-law. He basically works at Sloan. He's one of the directors of Sloan Kettering, and his boss, who usually doesn't trade a lot, mentioned to put all your money into Bitcoin. He obviously passed this news to me. I didn't know what the hell Bitcoin was at the time, but I downloaded Coinbase and started trading Bitcoin at around $900 to $1,100. Started investing a lot and then got into Ethereum with my buddy because he was a lot younger than me, and his mindset was, let's try to build some computers. Let's see if it actually works. And we started mining Ethereum. We ended up building two eight rigged Ethereum mining, and we were getting just about 7 Ethereum a week. With the obviously electric costs in New York, it's absolutely astronomical. Fortunate the town that he lived in was more self-sufficient, so the cost per kilowatt was a lot less. But either way, Ethereum was only around, I think it was around $60 to $70 at the time. And we were making a decent amount of money, but it just, to us, it wasn't worth the investment because we were paying a lot more in electric. And then a year later, as you know, Ethereum obviously popped off, and we did make a decent amount of profit from that, but we just kept compounding it back into new investments. Then we started trading on BitMEX, which I obviously did not understand leverage trading until I got wiped out in one big trade, about 8.8 Bitcoin, and had to build up from there. I started investing a lot more into DeFi and just moving my money around instead of keeping it in one giant basket and end up getting rugged again. It took about a year to get back to where I was, and really only started getting to NFTs probably in summer of 2020, 2021, I'd say. Yeah, 2021, because then we ended up getting the job for Degenerate Ape Academy. And this was I just started understanding NFTs and their value, etc. And Degenerate Ape Academy was one of my larger orders that we've had at my company. So we wanted to really provide something great for them. And I just kept in contact with these same people who ended up running Snuggle Squad. There were two of them, one of them being the main developer. And it was just like Sarah was saying, it was just, they weren't showing up. And it's more aggravating because if I don't show up at my company, nothing will get done at all. And it's crazy that there's too many people that are in the space, and you see it in a lot of projects that they're just not running it like a business. And that's one thing that me and Sarah always said, is that if we're going to run this project, it's going to be like a business. We're going to pay all of our employees. We're going to follow up on everything. We're going to be transparent about everything, about financials, etc. Because that's the only way that people trust you in the space, is when you're this transparent. And people are in the space are finally starting to see this with us. So it's really fortunate that I met Sarah during Snuggle Squad, because it's only been going downhill from there. And with their mistakes of what they did, it really just shows that there's so many immature and I would say they just have no business mindset, and they think that it's easily done to just build a new project with the blink of an eye, just because you have money to fund an artist, etc. And that's just not the way to actually have a successful business. It takes time, and obviously with what we're doing right now, the last 5 or 6 months of building this and putting extensive time into this, it's only starting to show right now. But we organically built this, and it's obviously showing. And I think that over the next 6 to 8 months, you're really going to see a lot of these projects fall off even more. I don't think that it's over. I think that we're still going to be going sideways for some time. And the projects that are here that are still building in this bear market are the ones that are obviously going to survive. And there's not a lot in this space, but I can guarantee that we are one of them. And that's pretty much my journey so far the last 5 years. And again, there's mistakes that you always make, and you regret them. You change, you move on. Never guilt yourself, because you'll continue to make the same mistake over and over again. It's always going to be in the back of your mind. So just remember, just to regret, move on, and learn. And that's what I've been doing ever since I actually had someone like Sarah really look into what I was providing in a project. and he saw the same thing in himself. So why not let's both run a fucking project the way it's supposed to, and really show what the space is supposed to be providing? Because there's so many projects that have been around that are the top projects that provided absolutely nothing as far as utility in the last 12 months, and they're still sitting at a floor of 30, 40, 50 Solana, and it's hard to believe that. But it's only a matter of time that we are in that range as well, because of the value that we're providing in a such short time frame. And I'm just excited to really be in the space and learn, because I come from Web 2 and I'm learning every day. And the spaces that we have every day, I love the people that we bring up as well. And Carter, just meeting you as well. The fact that you're 13 years old and you're doing this, you're hosting your spaces, it just shows how the mindset that you have. Like, you separate yourself from the people that are like in your generation, and you can really hold your pride in this, and like, because you're really into the space and you really want to learn and provide some kind of value as well by doing all these podcasts that you just started.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate it. So shoot, I lost my question. Oh, okay, here it is. How did you guys like fund the project in the beginning?
We're both not like we're not young. We're both like quite seasoned people. Like, obviously you heard in the backstory, I've been working in sales for almost 10 years, and obviously I did very well with HNT. So money wasn't really a issue for me specifically. And then Casper bought out his family's business, and that was really not cheap. So like, we're both like quite okay. And even to this date, right now, like, apart from initial marketing funds that myself and Casper both initially put into the project, we haven't even took a wage yet. We're still doing this fundamentally because we believe in what we're going to be able to provide long term. And obviously, everything that we're generating right now goes straight back into the business. We're obviously pushing the business as hard as possible, without obviously overspending or anything like that. We're ultimately ensuring that the business runs as a business. Obviously, we could inject more capital, all that kind of stuff, but all that's going to do is it's going to increase the expenses at the same time. If we grow this naturally, organically, all the way from the get-go, like any real startup should do, then we'll have the right growth from that. So we're obviously continuously and consistently analyzing the numbers, and we know that ultimately what we're doing right now in regards to payments, marketing, advertising, everything, we can generally cover that with everything that we are generating through the ecosystem right now. And as we obviously expand further, we're obviously going to be able to, do the exact same thing on a higher scale. So yeah, there's a level of experience and a level of actual, backing in regards to not just like what we do for the Fox Club, but what we do for the Solana ecosystem as well. So Casper's a little bit more public than I am in regards to what he buys. But we're both very active buyers in the ecosystem. Him more than me, I'll say that straight up. He spends stuff like crazy. And he'll buy loads of different projects, whale into them, all that kind of stuff. And obviously be very public about it. I'm more about I'll buy certain projects and hold them in certain wallets, and try and not obviously bring too much attention in regards to what I am holding and stuff, because it's the different situation where I don't really like showing certain things in that regard, because then you get caught out, and like people are like, oh, well, were you selling that? And it's like, well, why are you bag watching me? Come on, let me just do what I want.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's why I'm like up in the air about posting like, oh yeah, I just got, say like I just when I got the foxes, like, hey, just got these 2 foxes, and say I sell them, and then you know what I mean. It's like people will come after you for trying to make money. But how long have the foxes been out?
We minted out on the 10th of January.
Dang, so it hasn't even been that long. I thought it was longer. You guys doing super well for just being minted out in just the last couple of months. Actually, wait.
Yeah, it took us 31 days to mint out as well.
Hey, and look at you now. You guys were on Popular Collections yesterday, right? And a 4.9 floor. Like, you guys doing really well, and you guys just starting to show like what you have and what like your potential is. Oh man. So, how many Foxes? Like, how many NFTs are in the collection?
2,995. Originally was 2,999, but someone burned 4 of them.
Man, what a guy, huh? What a guy. Why did you pick Soul? Well, I feel like I know the answer, but I guess you can answer it. Why'd you pick Soul?
Yeah, so specifically for me, obviously, after analyzing multiple blockchains, community sentiment, technology, all that kind of stuff, Sol just has pretty much everything. Like, it literally does. Like, as you heard with my backstory, I did work with Polygon before anyone even knew about fucking Polygon. So I know how that blockchain functions. I know all the stuff that's happening. Even to this day, bridging is still an absolute mess. Like, onboarding people like that, it's just the truth. Like, look at how seamless it is to get somebody onboarded to Solana. And then look at what they're doing this year as well. Like, in regards to the Solana phone, integrating HNT into the ecosystem as well. Like, this is all about mass adoption. Like, everyone's on their phones, man. So if they can get a level of that phone market and obviously get people using that and obviously provide very good tech that goes with the phone also, we're going to be onboarding people on a brand new level, on a brand new spectrum with the level of technology as well. Because where we're at right now with Rust is a programming language that has barely been scraped at. Like, there is fundamental things that are going to happen over the next 3 to 5 years that are going to blow people's minds. Like, we're seeing specific things right now with Unreal Engine 5, and we're seeing specific things that could be done with Unreal Engine 5 and Unreal Engine 6 that would magnify the entire experience just by using Rust. And we're seeing as developers having these in-depth conversations, etc., and saying, oh yeah, long term, this is going to be absolutely amazing just off this base principle here. So there's layers to this onion in regards to what Solana actually is. It's a lot more than just a JPEG community. There are levels to the DeFi protocols and what they are providing. It is just the base fundamental fact that Solana needs more validators. And we've been quite open in this regard as well as the Fox Club. If we're generating enough Solana on a generalized basis where we can afford to run a validator ourselves, then we're gonna take part too. We're going to do our part specifically, because if we have that amount of Solana sat there in reserve, we'd be silly not to obviously provide extra to the ecosystem and obviously be a fundamental part of that. It's something obviously I think long term that a lot of staple projects inside this ecosystem should be looking to provide also.
Yeah, so I guess talking about your game, will you be able to like play as your own Fox in that game? I don't know if you can answer that yet. Because I don't know how much you've given out yet. But like,
No, so we're going to be doing that crazy level of stuff, unfortunately, because that would be what, like 2,900 different variants. We're providing a full skill-based wager game that's browser-based. So the entire base sentiment of it is it should work and be seamless for the end user. Should just be able to instantly click and play. And that's obviously the game style that we're going for. So the amount of avatars that will be available in the game will be dependent on sponsorship. So we offered a couple of projects initially the free opportunity to put their 3D avatar in our game. However, a couple of people say no, we've got yes, etc. But once we launch the game specifically and we see all the people jump to us and these people come back to us, we're doing everything on a constant basis. So if you want your NFT character inside our game, can you mute yourself, please, by the way? Carter,
yo, sorry.
you know what
What'd you say?
speaking? Can you mute yourself, bro?
Huh?
Can you mute yourself when I speak, bro? Because you're echoing.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't know that. Oops, my bad. Um, Dang, now I feel bad.
Yeah, so can you mute yourself so I can carry on speaking, bro?
My bad. I thought I was muted. Cause I just mute myself on my stream deck. Okay. What's the end goal for the project?
Yo, that was such a generalized question, Carter. Yo, I'm gonna help you out here, bro. Yo, if you wanna come do these AMAs, etc., bro, like, come on, you gotta come with a little bit more heat than what's the angle of the project, man. Like,
I mean, I got deeper
Have
questions.
you got a better question than what's the angle of the project? Because I spent the past 40 minutes explaining the angle of the project.
Okay. Um. Okay. So, if dang, now you just like okay. So, how are you like paying for the stuff in the DGen toy machines? Like,
Okay, so yeah, so that was a quick question so we could run away to, do
oh,
something
I thought
different,
I
right?
okay. I thought I was okay. I need to just unmute on here. Okay. So, what like how are you paying for the stuff that go into the DGen toy machines? Are you using the funds that from like the project, or are you using your own funds and then you know
Yeah, so obviously we generated a base amount of funds from Mint, and obviously we set a base allocation of a certain amount of Solana that was the initial fill point for all of our machines. And then also we have a reserve amount of Solana that's sat there just in case if a machine empties all its jackpots, and ultimately, we have a bad week where we lose a lot of money, etc. But how we've obviously generated the war chest for the DTM specifically is once we generate the actual initial fill amount back, that's when we start sharing the profits with holders. So, say for example, this week's machine cost just over 250 Solana to fill. So we will not share any of the profits or any of the revenue generated until we have first generated that 250 Solana back, which will take around 1,000 spins to do. But there's around 3,000 spins in the machine. So roughly we'll end up around 1,500 extra spins, which obviously generates a considerable amount of revenue, which will be split directly in half. 50% goes straight to the revenue share, and then 50% obviously stays with us as a business. We'll obviously use a portion of that to fill a chips machine, but we'll also keep a portion of that as well for further filling, extra fills, marketing, all that kind of stuff as well.
okay. So what's been your favorite part of running the Fox Club?
Oh, it's weird, bro, because this it's dynamic, right? I think that's the best way to go about it is as a project founder, your day is never really always the same, right? Of course, I have the things that I have to do pretty much every day. I have the things that I have to do every single week. There's a certain level amount of math that I have to do every single week, regardless, right? But the individual actions and motions and conversations that you have on a daily basis, they're all different. Like I could, like this is the thing right now. I'm speaking to a young guy who seems to have his shit together a lot more than the majority of people in this ecosystem. But then tomorrow, I could go into a space with a 21-year-old crybaby who doesn't have a clue about the ecosystem. You know what I mean? Like it's really interesting that you get those different dynamics, you get those different types of people, etc. And obviously, you've got to be able to manage yourself in a specific way to ultimately ensure that when you are interacting in these specific situations, that you're always having a level of professionalism, but while still providing a level of humanity as well, right? And I think that almost playing that game specifically, it makes it very interesting because you are almost doing hurdles and you are almost dipping around and all this kind of stuff, but it makes for a dynamic experience. And I'm loving obviously the unique conversations that I have on a daily basis that test my customer service skills, they test my sales skills, they test my experience in life, all the different things that I've experienced, etc. Ultimately, allowing myself to see and maneuver this madness that we call Web3 right now, which I think is it's really fun. And yeah, it's an enjoyable experience.
I agree. That's like one thing that I love about Web3 is you meet so many people with different looks in life, and you meet a bunch of different people that you know just act a lot different than each other. And I feel like that's taught us all how to deal with tough situations in life, because you know we've had to learn how to talk to different people going through different things and feeling different ways. So yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about Web3. I guess that goes into I guess that can be another question. Like, what's your favorite thing about Web3? I mean, Casper and treats, because I feel like that Saro, you kind of answered that question last. Like, Casper and Treats?
Me personally, Web3, you're gonna have good days and bad days. Like the reality of it, um, I've never really experienced Web3 until like recently, seeing this bear market and the amount of people that just sit and complain and don't know anything about projects or building their own project or business, etc. And I think that right now is my like the best time right now is in a bear market, because the ones that actually get through this are the ones that are still going to survive in a bull market, because it's not easy in a bear market. And this goes also for my Web2 IRL business. It's not easy to build in a market that its entire like economy is literally in shambles right now. Like we're in a recession. We've been in a recession for 2 years now. And if you can get through all of this, it's going to be an easy bull run, but it doesn't mean that you slack off in the bull run. It just means that you have more capital to be able to reinvest back into your project. You have more options. There are a lot more people that, and honestly, everyone's mood is much better in a bull market, obviously, because we're all making money. But I just think that right now there's a lot of people that are sour and kind of fading this ecosystem right now because they're not making the money that they were. And that's not the people that you really want in the ecosystem. You have to really sit down and be more mindful of your business operating cost and the way that you run your business. And I think that as hard as it is to like really weather this bear market, I think it's just it's more beneficial than it is negative. And I think that's what a lot of people are realizing, that don't belong in this ecosystem. And those are the ones that are pulling more money out of this ecosystem than reinvesting into it. And that's why I just feel like this is like my favorite part of the market, as shitty as that sounds. Like, yeah, that we're all down bad, but I just think that the ones that are really going to get through this are the ones that you really want to be affiliating yourself with and getting to know, because these are the ones that are going to obviously be around in the bull market if they're here, showing up every single day. So, Treats, do you have anything to add to this?
What was the initial question? I'm sorry, I've been like hitting a really crazy kettlebell workout. Just finished.
What's your favorite part of Web3?
Oh, dude, my favorite part is the people. I'm not even gonna lie. Just being able to come up on spaces and connect with everybody. I love. I used to like honestly think I was like introverted and antisocial, and then I just realized I wasn't like good at like articulating things. I feel like. Um, until like I'll be like when I go like festivals and stuff, I was able to like I think like be myself, and I think that that's something about Web3 is I've been able to be like my pure, unadulterated self, and I've like found a lot of like-minded individuals here in this space. But yeah, I think like people and opportunity for me, I think are my favorite things right now about Web3. I graduated with an exercise science and sport degree, which I love. You know, like it's a cool degree. But it kind of created a ceiling for myself, and I created a ceiling in my head for like opportunities for myself, right? Because of this limited degree. And Web3 has kind of opened up a whole new road of opportunities and career opportunities for me, which I don't think I ever would have been able to explore. Like I was so anti-Twitter a year ago. Like I think I made my Twitter like end of May, and now obviously I'm a fucking Twitter manager for like 4 projects, and I've like become this algorithm. Like I understand the algorithm to an extent. Like obviously it's always changing, but like we're all learning and adapting, and it's just really cool for these opportunities to be like on the forefront of it, and where we truly are early. And dude, I'm just like I love hanging out with the people. I mean, obviously it shows. Like I'm here all day, every day. Um, and dude, this is just like I'd say it to Casper and Tyra. I've said it in our spaces, but like the amount of access that we have to talented individuals in this space, and just the amount of creativity and just knowledge. There's a wealth of it here, and we all get to come together in spaces and share that with each other, our life experiences, our perspectives, and yeah, man, that's my favorite part, man. It truly is. I think like it's kind of intangible, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much value there is in that. But they do participate it like on a daily basis. But I don't think like people realize that we have that already in Web3, and I'm excited to see like when all the gamers and like people that are already on social media, once they realize what we have over here and like how genuine people are, like that's like gonna be really special. But yeah, man, like that's those are my favorite things. Like continuously getting to meet all these cool people. Like I fucking was on stage with Tommy Hilfiger. I've been on stage with fucking Carl Jones. Like I would never thought I'd have that full phone number. He's the freaking animator for Boondocks, you know? So like this is all these doors have been open for me with Web3, and I'm just like so grateful, and I'm just like so fucking sorry. I'm just so stoked to like be with a team like Fox Club and to have these great people around us. Like it's really really cool being with people like Casper and Syra as well, who have like that business centric mind and have experience in the field. Like I learn a lot from these guys every day, and I'm just super grateful. So yeah, those are like my favorite things.
I agree, bro. That's my favorite thing about Web3 is just, all the people you meet. Like you said, you used to find yourself as an introvert, and I did as well. But Twitter Spaces and talking to all the new people, in Web3 has given me a lot of confidence, and um, I'm very happy and thankful for Web3. Um, but it's been 55 minutes, and I appreciate you guys coming up and doing this little podcast. Uh, we will be back on Thursday with Famous Foxes, 7:30 p.m. EST. I hope to see you there. Casper, Treats, Syra, you have any closing things to say?
Yeah.
2023
Well,
is the year of the fox. That's it. Be ready for it. It's inevitable. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, I'd love to have a discussion with you about the space at some point as well. Obviously, maybe give you a couple of pointers and obviously go through some stuff as well. To ultimately provide like, where I can, if I can help you with, adding to your space and value, all that kind of stuff. Because as you know, I do this on a daily basis. I speak to projects almost on a daily basis too. And I normally, when I do stuff, I have like a pretty much a half page of notes, and I like to structure stuff in flow diagrams and stuff. And maybe you'll learn something from that. Even if you don't take everything that I do, maybe you take something and it adds to your game a little bit. And obviously, I'd love to obviously help with in that regard where I can.
Yeah, bro. I just always like I think I told Casper this. I love learning from people. That's another thing I love about the spaces is I just get to listen and learn and talk to people that can teach me. So yeah, I'm definitely down. Everyone that listened, I appreciate you for coming out. Make sure you go check out the foxes and definitely buy a fox before they moon. But make sure you do your own research, not financial advice. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.